Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? It's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto. Guys, this is our morning show where we bring you the latest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, technical, on-chain, and fundamental analysis every single morning, and I'm very excited to be back here in studio. Today, we're going to be looking at all of the different technical reasons why I believe that a Bitcoin bottoming is coming relatively soon. As you guys know, we've been in a bear market over the last about a year. It's been over a year. It's been a year and 18 days now, ever since the all-time high was hit. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about why that bottom is likely to be right around the corner. If you do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And make sure to just go ahead and Sam Bankman-Fried that like button. Just smash it just right into the ground. Boom. We've already got 36 likes. Really appreciate all of you guys tuning in as always. We got a great show today, and I am very much looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and start out by reading some green names. Give me just uno momento. We have a Mellow Fellow was first. Shout out to a Mellow Fellow. Really appreciate you tuning in. Mike Lowry said morning. Knowledge is deep said morning. We got Mike Lowry in the chat again asking to be a blue wrench so that he can help with the spam. Mike, I gave it to you. My hair is doing all kinds of crazy things today. I left it down, and it's going like over my headphones. Let's see. There we go. Awesome. Gary G pulled the channel. Doesn't want you to know what Jebb thinks. No, Gary did not pull the channel, although it would be very interesting to get an actual interview with Gary Gensler. That guy dodges every single question that's thrown at him and only takes softball interviews. So if somehow we could get Gary Gensler here on the channel, I would love to give him some questions. Just Ray in chat. It's Just Ray. Just Ray. Shout out to Just Ray. Appreciate you for tuning in and for being a member for so long. Crypto Smitty in chat also said, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Absolutely, everybody. We've got a good show, and I am looking forward to... Oh, and Ken Saunders said, oh, and good morning, Jebb. Grand Roofing Incorporated said, hey, Jebb, good morning. Let's see. Mike Lowry said, hashtag FinSolve. Indeed. Hashtag FinSolve. Indeed. B-Max said, morning, Jebb. Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the Bitcoin chart. Today, we're going to be talking about quite a few things. Excuse me, not the Bitcoin chart. Let's go ahead and jump on over to CoinMarketCap. We're going to be talking about quite a few things today, but one of the big things that we're going to be discussing is the price action of Bitcoin, and we're going to be looking at how far away the halving event is on Bitcoin and what that looks like based on historical data for Bitcoin. I've shown you a chart like this recently. You're going to come alongside me as we put together this chart, and I'm going to show you why, based on the halving cycle and also based on the time away from all-time high, that we should be expecting the bottom on Bitcoin relatively soon. I left some of this to set up on stream so that you guys can see how I go about setting up different chart formations and doing my research here for setting up the stream. So we'll go ahead and do that. But again, let's go ahead and start over here on CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is celebrating because the World Cup is going on right now. A lot of drama around the World Cup because of where it is being hosted. A lot of people are getting in a lot of trouble. I think Morgan Freeman was one of them. People are saying, what are you doing over there, man? But nevertheless, the World Cup is going on right now, and that has been going crazy over on Twitter. If you guys remember, Twitter has obviously been acquired by Elon Musk, and Elon Musk talked about how the World Cup is being hosted and spoken extensively about over on Twitter. Follow World Cup on Twitter for the best real-time coverage. He's really got a great thing going for him, owning Twitter and all. But again, let's go ahead and jump back on over to CoinMarketCap. You can see Bitcoin currently trading at $16,230.92, down 1.86% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum sitting at $1169.60, down 3.5%. Both of them are in the green over the last 7 days, quite significantly in the red over the last 90. If you'll remember, FTX.com went belly up. You can see, you go to FTX.com and it goes right into their bankruptcy filing and their petition dates and the omnibus hearing and yada, 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 legalese this, legalese that. Unfortunately, about 1 million people are owed millions and billions of dollars from FTX. And whenever it went down, FTX, the exchange, went down, you'll remember that Bitcoin fell through the floor. It was already starting to go into a downtrend, and then it just crashed a whole lot harder following that bankruptcy. But nevertheless, Bitcoin still, even despite that, sitting at the record level of $312 billion. And obviously, I don't mean record for this year, but record in the history of crypto, still sitting at 312, I think I said million, billion, dollars, $312 billion in market cap. Ethereum sitting at $143 billion in market capitalization, $65 billion sitting in Tether alone. You want to talk about on-chain. This is a great thing that we can stop and look at here. This is what is known as the dry powder. What is dry powder? Well, that is the amount of money that people have sitting on the sidelines in stablecoins. A lot of times, on-chain data analysts will call that dry powder reserves. Essentially, that means that there is a ton of money sitting on the sidelines in cryptocurrency just waiting to get deployed whenever people see a good buying opportunity. That's what I have done. We've gone ahead and deployed some of our capital into the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market over the last couple of weeks following the massive fallout and collapse of the famous and now defunct cryptocurrency exchange FTX. But there are a lot of people, including myself, who have not deployed any or all of their capital. I've deployed some, but not all. And some people haven't even started deploying capital at all yet. That's why Bitcoin is still sitting so far to the downside. If everybody was already deploying capital and already buying in, then, of course, the bottom would be in and we'd be moving to the upside. But that's not the case. Bitcoin is trading sideways because it is sitting at an equilibrium between buying and selling, meaning that this is a relatively stable position that we're sitting at, free floating above our next support level at $13,800. But I don't think that's going to continue forever. I do think you're going to have another break to the downside at some point in the next couple of weeks. But that's what this stream is about, so I won't go into too much of it just yet because that's where we're going over the course of the next 55 minutes. We can also see Binance sitting at $295. It's doing very well for itself considering the state of the bear market, sitting at $47 billion market cap. If we go look at BNB, in fact, I have it over here in my watch list, you can see Binance Coin rallied to 710 and it's still sitting at 295. It is down from all-time high and it dropped eventually it dropped 74% to the downside, but it's only down 57% right now. So it's doing remarkably well compared to other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is down 75, nearing 80%, but Binance is not. A lot of that has to do with the success of the Binance exchange over the last 2 years and the meteoric rise that we saw Binance take above $40. Just remember, this is the linear chart. We were looking at the log chart and it looks crazy. This is the linear chart. Binance absolutely moonshot early last year, 1,500% in 90 days. Don't expect that kind of movement to ever happen again on Binance, but it does indicate that Binance is doing very, very well for itself. The exchange is as well. Now, I don't have the news article up, but there was an article where there was a certain high-level executive, I believe over at Kraken, who was giving Binance a lot of flack, and they were saying something that I have said on this stream, and that is that Binance's CoinMarketCap, because remember, Binance owns CoinMarketCap, posting all of their reserves over here on CoinMarketCap is a little bit pointless unless you have the liabilities. So this is a challenge that I want to make to Binance, and I also want you guys to know, is that Binance posted that they have $65 billion in assets and in financial reserves and in deposits, but the tricky thing is, we don't know what their liabilities are. We don't know if they owe $40 billion to their creditors or $400 billion to their creditors. Now, we can have a general idea, and we would like to hope that it's lower than $65 billion, but just because we see these exchanges' financial reserves, and these reserves are proven with Merkle tree analysis and all of this, and Merkle tree this, Merkle tree that CZ wants to talk about, and it's logged on the blockchain, that's wonderful, that's great, but we don't actually know how much Binance owes. This says total assets, but we need a category right here or over here, wherever the UX UI developers want to put it. This says total liabilities. How much money does Binance owe? Not only to its users, but also to any lines of credit that it has, which CZ says they don't have any lines of credit. But if you'll remember, CZ, I'm not even going to try and find it in his tweet thread, but but I've shown you on this screen before, he said that they don't use their own token for reserves. But in here, between BNB and BUSD, it makes up 42% of all of the assets that they are currently holding. Now, I understand that people are going to be using Binance on the exchange and BUSD on the exchange, and it makes sense that the native tokens would exist on the native exchange. But what if this is their reserves, and what if this is just the deposits that they are holding for their clients? This is a concern that I have, is that this is all well and good that we have this data, but it's incomplete. And I don't have the article up, but it was I think it was either the Kraken CEO or a high-level Kraken high-level Kraken C-suite executive that was saying that. If you'll remember, Kraken over here has a massive, massive, massive exchange, and they have not, as of yet, proven their reserves over here on CoinMarketCap through the Merkle tree analysis that KuCoin, Bitfinex, OKX, Bybit, and others, and Huobi have done. So would really like to see them do that. Nevertheless, moving right along here, I want to go ahead and remind you before we even jump into today's stream that Lux Algo's lifetime sale ends today. So if you guys own Lux Algo and you're looking to get it for life so that you never have to pay this subscription ever again, because it's $69 a month for this indicator and it's worth every single penny. But if you want to never have to pay for Lux Algo every single month ever again, then you need to come to luxalgo.com and purchase the lifetime deal, which ends in 14 hours, less than 14 hours, and it's gone forever. I have it on good sources, and by the way, I'm being a little facetious there because the source I have is the CEO of Lux Algo that tells me that this is the last lifetime sale that is ever going to run, and then it's gone forever. It even says so right here. Lifetime plan is being fully discontinued in bold, so you know it's serious. Once the countdown timer runs out, you've got 14 hours to pick this up, and you're also going to be getting access to the world's greatest backtesting system. That backtesting system is going to show you win rates. It's going to show you your profit and loss. It's going to show you exactly what signal sensitivity and signal agility and all the different settings that you want to use in Lux Algo to set the indicator up with the best possible features. This system right here is worth $1,000 alone, but you can also get lifetime access to Lux Algo. And by the way, this backtesting system is gone in 13 hours. It's not a standalone product. It's only featured in the Lux Algo lifetime sale. And then when this lifetime sale is over in 13 and a half hours, this backtesting system is gone and you won't be able to purchase it. You can only get it with the lifetime access plan, so make sure to check it out down below. Anyway, looks like we got a lot of people tuning in. We've already got 553 people tuning in. Really appreciate all of you guys for signing up, for tuning into the stream. Really appreciate all of you guys for subscribing to the channel. Make sure to go ahead and smash that like button. We've almost got 600 people and only 125 likes. Let's see if we can't get to 300 likes over the next 5 minutes. Matt C says, I have Lux Algo for life. Rudy Poo says, Lux for life. Boom, guys. Lux Algo is worth it. I love it so much. I use it every single day, and you're going to see me bust it out a little bit today on stream. Binance just moved a record number of BTC to a new wallet. Interesting. Sheebnobi Analytics, that's a cool name, said big dump incoming. Sheebnobi Analytics, put a reminder in your calendar for 3 years from now to see how DCAing was the worst mistake. Interesting, CryptoSec guy. You don't think DCAing is a good idea. I'd love to hear your why on that. Oh, no, you're not saying that. I'm sorry. Sheebnobi Analytics said DCAing is the worst mistake I can do. The bottom is not even close. I apologize. Okay, well, I'm a little bit confused. You said the bottom's not even close, but a big dump's incoming. So I'd love to hear some more information. Looks like I may have misquoted somebody. I do apologize for that. Wish I could get Lux Algo. Guys, it's worth it. It really, really is. It is incredible. Oh, dang, I missed that part a few months ago, and I got the... Yeah, good deal. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right on to the chart. We're going to jump into some longer term analysis. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. What I want to show you is how far we are in the halving cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and do something and turn Lux Algo off for right now. We're going to bring it back a little bit later, but I have these 4 lines up here, and these represent the halving dates. So if we come over here and we type in Bitcoin halving dates, then you'll be able to see that the halving date, the first one was November 28th, 2012. I'm just going to go on the daily chart back here and show you that I have this lined up. I'm going to need to move it a couple of days here. I think I had a couple days off, but it was November 12th, 2012. Right? Is that what it said? I believe it said November 12th. I'm sorry, November 28th. I know better than that. It was exactly 10 years ago, actually. How about that? I didn't even notice that. What a good day to talk about halving. Exactly 10 years ago today, the first Bitcoin halving took place. How about that? That's hilarious. I literally did not plan that. The next halving was July 9th, 2016. So I have this 2 days off, and you'll see why here in a second, because I had to use the weekly chart, and this was as close as it got on the weekly chart. July 9th, 2016. That was the next halving event. The next one after that was May 11th. That was the first halving that I was around for, because I was in the cryptocurrency space. I got into crypto. I'll just go ahead and put a vertical line right about here, and you'll see why we're going over halving dates in a second. That's where I got into crypto. And then the next halving date takes place, is predicted to take place. Now, it's an ETA, estimated time of arrival, March 24th, 2024. So we'll move this over 1 day to right there. Boom. So these are the halving dates. What we're going to do now is we're going to realize that the next halving is in 482 days. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to today over on this website. I use this website all the time to see how far away things are. Like, boom, we're going to hit today, then we're going to hit Christmas, and we can see, woohoo, Christmas is 27 days away. That's crazy. That's only 27 days away. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go back in time, and we're going to look for about 482 days away and see how long ago that was. So that's going to be in 2021, 365 days ago. Of course, let's go to March. Let's go to this. And I'm just showing you how I'm getting some of this data. So we're trying to look for how long ago 482 days ago is from, we want to use the date, the 11th of May, 2020. So we're going to go the 11th of May, 2020, and then we're going to go back to, let's say, 2018, I think. Let's go to 2018. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. And we're going to look for how long ago 482 days was. So it looks like it's going to be maybe around here in 2019. You can see how we're doing this. 2019, 410. We're getting close. Let's go January, 462. Let's add a few days. Let's go here and go to the 5th, 492. Okay, boom. Let's go to the 15th. And there you go. You can see 482 days from May 11th, 2020 is January 15th, 2019. So let's go to January 15th, 2019 and plug that into the flux capacitor and see where it gets us. January 1st, 2019. And you'll see why I'm doing this. I know you're probably like, Jebb, what in the world are you doing with this? I don't get it. Just give me a second. I'm gonna play it out for you. So let's go ahead and turn this to red. This is the date that we're looking for. That's not red. There we go. We got a red line there. We'll go ahead and put a red line here as well for today. So essentially, you'll be able to see on the weekly chart what I'm doing. This should be, and we can actually use this without, this should be about 490 days in the past. Let's see if this is about 490 days in the past. Yes, it is. So you can see there that it's 490 days ago. And then on the daily chart here, we're going to come back down and we're just going to use that tool to look again. How long ago was 490 days from this point in time here? The 9th, 490 days, 482 days before that was, you can see right here, was the 15th of March, 2015. And then we'll just use this to check. We'll use the duration calculator to check it. So if we plug in, and I'm doing this live so you guys can see the method that you go about doing some of this research. It's not all fancy and you know, really cool stuff. A lot of times you're just coming in here and plugging in numbers and doing data analysis. I'm doing this live so that you can see the way that we have to go about getting this data sometimes. So this says March 15th, 2015. Let's go ahead and plug that in and just fact check ourselves, make sure that's 482 days. It's actually 483, so let's go here and we'll move it to the next day over. And then you'll be able to see what data we're pulling here. And we're going to do this one more time. We want to see this data over here. So this is 482 days. Let's see how far ago 482 days was from the 27th. 482 days was right here, the 3rd of August, 2011. So let's see what the 3rd of August 2011 does. Okay, 3rd of August 2011. We'll come in here and go 28th of November 2012. That would be 28th of November 2012. And then we're also going to look at 3rd of August 2011. So that's 8/3/2011. And we'll see if that's 482 days. 484. So let's move it 2 days later, because the trading view isn't always going to give us the exact right number. So there we go, 5th of August. And we can just fact check that right here. Let's go 5th of August, and it's 482 days. Okay, so you're probably still wondering, well, Jebb, that's great. You got some fancy lines on a chart, but what does that even mean? We got lines that are equally spaced. Well, the reason I'm showing you this is because, and let me just go to full screen while I explain this. The reason that I am showing you this is because I love you, Jebb, but BTC is not green. Did I say that Bitcoin was green? I'm colorblind. I could actually see myself doing that. Anyway, the reason I'm showing you this is because there is something that takes place in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency sphere called the halving cycle. Every 210,000 blocks, you see something that takes place called the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin, every 10 minutes, a block is mined. And whenever that block is mined, you see a certain amount of Bitcoin created out of thin air, and that's how Bitcoin is injected into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Originally, it was 100 BTC, and then it got cut into 50, then 25, then 12.5. The next halving will drop it down to 6.25 Bitcoin for every single block that's mined. That's how new Bitcoin is created. Over on CoinMarketCap, we can see that there is 19,219,037 Bitcoin in ultimate existence that has ever been created. Now, a lot of that has been lost or destroyed through being put into a wallet that can no longer be retrieved, but that's how much was created ever since the beginning of the Bitcoin era, January 3rd, 2009, when it was first created. Every single one of these halving events, therefore, completely changes the supply and demand economics of Bitcoin, because the supply side of things gets cut in half. If you have microchips and you're selling microchips at $1,000 a pound, or however you want to rate it, if you're selling hay bales at $50 a bale, whatever it is, if you all of a sudden cut the production of that asset in half, then you are instantaneously going to double the price of that asset because it's twice as hard to acquire. Now, that isn't exactly how it works economically because there's other forces, but theoretically, you should expect the underlying intrinsic value to double instantaneously as a result in the halving of the supply. It is changed some because there is already a lot of supply in circulation, and every single day that passes, the supply continues to rise. So it's not as simple as that, but in theory, you can kind of boil it down to that. Whenever you see a halving take place on Bitcoin, and we can show this historically, we normally see a meteoric rise in the 365 days following. Just looking 365 days out from here, you can see that Bitcoin would go on to rally 7,000% following the first halving event on Bitcoin, which was hands down the most important halving event in the history of Bitcoin, and will forever be the most important halving event in the history of Bitcoin, because that is when Bitcoin went through its first supply shock, and there was still a very low amount of supply in existence. 365 days following the next halving, we saw a 360% rally. Bitcoin would go on to rally 3,000% in the year and a half that followed. The next halving event, which took place in May of 2020, which I was here for, we watched Bitcoin rally 700% in just under 300 days. So halving events are very, very important, which means that we can expect Bitcoin to do something crazy during the next halving event to the upside. But we're not there yet. As you remember, we're 482 days away. Well, halvings basically set up this pulse, this heartbeat in crypto, where the market goes up and then down, and then up and then down, and then up and then down, following the halving events as the pacemaker. They are the pacemaker that help the heartbeat of crypto beat once every 4 years, and then the market will expand as a heart does, and contract, and then expand, and then contract. And generally, it will start its expansion soon thereafter of the halving event, and that's what we've seen take place. But what happens when you're 482 days away from the next halving event, as we are right now? Just remember, we are currently roughly and exactly 482 days away from the next halving. Well, when we were this far from the last halving, we were at the bottom. When we were this far from the previous halving, we were at the bottom. When we were this far from the very first halving, well, we were at the top, but we were still actually down 73% from all-time high. Bitcoin would just eventually go down 93%. So it doesn't exactly line up the way that we would expect it to, but Bitcoin was actually already very far towards the bottom here. And of course, the first halving cycle was a cycle that was quite a bit different than what we are looking at right now. Bitcoin halving cycles are extremely important, and they have matured the space. And of course, the last two are the ones that we mainly want to focus on, because that's when we actually have proper bull market, bear market dynamics that are predicted by technical analysis and substantiated by on-chain and fundamental and geopolitical forces that we can use as proper data to extrapolate what may happen in the future. During this exact period of time, during the past two bear markets, we have been more or less at the bottom. In fact, when we were 482 days from the second halving, away from the second halving, we had actually already hit the bottom, and we were already 63 days removed into the future from that absolute bottom. Now, the market would go through another about 6 months of sideways movement here, another 200 days of sideways movement before it would finally go into a bull market, but the bottom was in. And then if we look into 2019, early 2019, when we were 482 days away from the bottom, we were actually already 35 days, when we were 482 days away from the halving cycle, we were actually 35 days past the absolute bottom. And of course, Bitcoin would take another 2 to 3 months before really starting to blast off, but we had bottomed. So what does that mean for us right now? That indicates to me that we are very, very close to the bottom, or potentially maybe we already have. Now, based on a lot of other technical factors, because obviously we don't want to just take the halving cycle in a vacuum, based on a lot of other technical factors, I think the bottom is going to be at 13,800. Maybe 14,000, maybe we don't get quite there. Maybe we go a little bit lower. Maybe that bottom is sitting down here on this recent local low. I say recent, in the grand scheme of things, it's recent. It's over 2 years ago, back here at $12,300. But I do think that we are very, 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 very close to the bottom for Bitcoin, both in price and in time. And this halving analysis is only one of the reasons why I believe that. We're going to jump into a multitude of other reasons why I believe that as well here in just a moment. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this analysis that I am doing on the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets regarding the halving and how far away we are from the halving cycle? Generally speaking, whenever you see the market moving towards the halving, the market is invariably, in the past 3 halving cycles, we've only had 3, the market has invariably been moving to the upside leading into the halving, and then it took off leading into, you know, booster ignition, and we have the first stage drop off, and the rocket just takes off into outer space, just pops his cork and goes crazy. That's what we're looking at here. We see Bitcoin just go absolutely meteoric after the halving, but we had actually already been moving to the upside by the time the halving takes place. Look at that, 500% movement to the upside. After that, 10,000% movement. So the afterburners kick in when the halving comes online, but the market had already been moving to the upside. 200% movement, and then after the halving, 2,000 or 3,000% movement. Here, you can see from the bottom anyway, Bitcoin had rallied 176%. There was a geopolitical factor here, that being the pandemic. But even from there, from the bottom, when the halving took place, 153% movement to the upside in just 70 days. Then we saw 700% movement from there. So it would stand to reason that we'd see the bottom at some point in the next 3 to 6 months, probably a lot sooner than that. And some people would argue we've already seen it. But at some point very soon, whether it happened just a little while ago or in just a little while from now, we see the bottom, and then we start slowly moving to the upside, moving right through the halving on into Q1 of next year, and then we take off like a rocket ship, moving on into 2024. That's where I think the next phase for the market is going to be. We're going to see a bottoming form in the next little while. And by the next little while, I mean probably before March of 2023. So let's just go ahead and draw some vertical lines here. In fact, I'll just draw some boxes that kind of exemplify what I'm trying to say. I think the bottom is going to take place somewhere in time and space in this box. I'll go ahead and leave the box right here. And then I think that we're going to see, at some point following that, we're going to see market movement to something to maybe, let's say, about something about this effect. And then from there, and I'll leave these boxes here. I may even save this chart. And then from there, I think we're going to see market movement to this effect moving on into 2025 and 2026. And frankly, I think you'll see upwards of $200,000. So I'm a little bit less certain of this side of this box and this side of this box. But of course, I do think that over here and over here are pretty accurate. And the main thing I want to focus on for you guys is not that third box, because that's pretty far away. It's hard to predict that kind of stuff. That's nearly 2 years in the future. But I do think the bottom comes in here. Bottom, recovery, and then let's see. Let's call it blast off. Boom. BRB. Bitcoin will BRB. There we go. That's what it's doing. Saying, bye, bulls. We'll be right back, and then we're going to take off. So that's my theory of where the bottom is going to be for Bitcoin. And like I said, I'm about to give you quite a few other reasons why I believe that is going to be the future for Bitcoin and why I think it's going to look something to that effect. But first, let's go ahead and read chat. We have almost 900 people tuning in. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is Coffee and Crypto Live, so make sure if you do not have your coffee, take the show on the road over to the kitchen or to the coffee maker, wherever you are, and go get yourself some coffee. This is my world-famous husband mug that my wife got me. Really appreciate her. She's sitting just off camera answering you guys' emails. Thank you to Sarah for the mug and for being so awesome. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Can't have coffee and crypto without coffee. All right, let's catch up on chat. I've been talking for a little while. We only have 240 likes and nearly 900 people watching. This is a world-class crisis right here, and we need to do something about it. Hit that like button. Let's see. If I hit the like button, I have hit the like button. There we go. So I'm one of the. I did hit the like button, so I have done my part. The classic excuse me. The classic IT guy is in chat. Says smash the likes. Absolutely. Let's see. Lux for life. Everybody's saying Lux Algo. Definitely get Lux Algo, guys. We're going to use it here in a little while. Let's see. Lol, only 1K for Lux Algo. Anybody want to get me that for Christmas? Hey, guys, it's worth it. It really, really is. When they've sold Lux Algo in the past, it's normally been $1,300, $1,400 or like $1,200. It's been over $1,000, over $997. And you will end up spending that much money on the subscription in a year and a half if you get the month-to-month subscription. So you're going to save. I've had it for a year and a half. It'll save you a lot of money. I, the Beholder, who has been a member for 15 months, said smash the like button, praying that y'all are doing well. Doing pretty well. It's been a good couple of weeks. We had a great Thanksgiving. We had a bunch of people over. We smoked a turkey. We slow smoked a turkey. We slow cooked a turkey in the smoker. We have a smoker that the previous homeowners just left for us, like a $2,000 smoker that they just left there and gave to us. So that was a really cool gift. My uncle-in-law, Sarah's uncle, and her aunt and their 4 kids are staying with us through the holidays. And so he helped me clean it out, because if you don't know, you cannot leave wood pellets in a smoker or they will clog the auger. So we spent 3 hours doing open heart surgery on this smoker the night before Thanksgiving, and we got it working, and we smoked the turkey, and it was incredible. It was the most juicy turkey I've ever had. You know, turkeys are always so dry, and so this one was not, because we smoked it for 12 hours at 200 degrees, like just barely even hot, but it was hot enough to kill all the germs and everything, and it turned out really well. We had a great Thanksgiving, had a lot of good times with family, played Catan. Tell me if you guys have ever played Catan. Got to play 2 games of Catan with myself and some family members and some friends that were over. We were hosting. That was a lot of fun. That was a whole lot of fun. Malachi enjoyed seeing all his cousins. Overcome donated $5. Thank you so very much for that donation. Let's see. Total liabilities wouldn't tell you much. Total assets should give you a better idea of their liquidity. What would be valuable to know is if they use crypto deposits as collateral. Yes, that is also something that would be very, very useful to know. Trust me, I've worked with this stuff for several decades, but of course not financial advice. Okay, so Adam Barr, it sounds like you know a lot more about this stuff than I do, because I definitely don't have decades of experience working with accounting. I'm not an accountant by trade, but it seems to me that it would be very helpful if we knew how much money they owed, so that we actually know if they have enough money to cover all of those liabilities. Wouldn't that be helpful? I think what you're saying would probably be even more helpful, like you said, the crypto deposits being used as collateral. But that'd be the concern I'd have. Crypto Sec guy said, Crypto Jebb, glad to see Malachi still with you. He's a really fun person to chat about with economics. Malachi, Sarah, and myself are the 3 employees of the company right now, and we've all been working very hard. Really proud of Sarah and Malachi. They've been doing a great job. Yeah, you probably saw the message. That's Sarah and Malachi talking back and forth about just some stuff to help you guys with everything you guys need. Yes, I have 5 hours of Catan. Catan is absolutely awesome. Hashtag FinSolve. Multicultural Jebb. Love Settlers. I've never played Settlers. Is MicroStrategy a good alternative for BTC? I don't own MicroStrategy because I personally rather just buy Bitcoin. Yeah. Good deal. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and jump back onto the chart. All right, let's do it. Bitcoin over the last couple of days has been moving dramatically, and I want to show you why I think there may be a drop to the downside relatively soon on BTC. I just showed you on the longer term time frame. Just a reminder for anybody who just tuned in. We just looked at the halving cycles, and we looked at the historicity of how far away we are from the halving. These red lines represent basically where we are in the halving cycle right now. These blue lines represent the halvings in the history and in the future of Bitcoin. These red lines basically show you that at this same point, in this same distance away from the halving, this is where we were sitting. We were sitting at despair. If you look at the Wall Street cheat sheet. You guys love this thing. You're always talking about it. If you look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, then you will see that we're pretty much sitting right here in despair. I mean, people are just absolutely despairing. FTX just went belly up. They were valued at $32 billion a year ago. They're gone. Ben, a friend of mine, just posted a video where he went and knocked on Sam Bankman-Fried's door in the Bahamas. That's pretty funny. So shout out to that video. I still haven't had a chance to watch it, but I saw that. So we're sitting in despair. Everybody's freaking out. I would argue that we've already seen anger. I think a lot of people were angry at FTX, and now we're starting to see everybody go into depression. My retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I am an idiot is what it says. You're not an idiot. Don't call people idiots. That's not very nice, especially not yourself. Anywho, yeah, you're not an idiot. But the market is very, very far to the downside. And then what happens next is we go into disbelief. This is a sucker's rally. This rally will fail like the others, and then hope a recovery is possible. We're almost there. We're almost there. If you are despairing and if you are depressed about the state of Bitcoin, just don't despair. Bitcoin is here because the bottom, I think, is very, very close. Again, I think the bottom is going to transpire or take place somewhere in this box. I think above $11,000, below $16,000 between today and March of 2023, the end of March. And I'll even expand the box a little bit to down over here just like this, because it's possible that was the bottom. I'd just really be surprised. That's the very bullish scenario if we break to the upside out of these boxes. The more bearish scenario is we come down here and we ride out the bottom of these boxes. But I think it's actually very realistic if we run straight through the middle of these boxes as far as the prediction goes. So let's go ahead and look down at the shorter term time frames and see where that bottom might actually be. We believe that it, or at least I believe, you might not, but at least I believe that it's going to be somewhere within this box. But let's get a little bit more concrete than that. Let's go down to the 4-hourly chart and turn on Lux Algo. Again, guys, this is the last day of the lifetime sale for Lux Algo, and it ain't never coming back. So make sure you go ahead and get it. This is your last shot. Anyway, one of the reasons why I believe that Bitcoin is going to go through a drop has to do with price action, but it also does indeed have to do with Lux Algo. One of the things that I want to show you guys is that Lux Algo had a strong sell signal come into play right here on the 7th of November 2022. This sell signal transpired a day before and was confirmed a day before Sam Bankman-Fried's now famous tweet on November 8th, where he basically declared the destruction of FTX and a giant market crash by saying that FTX was basically insolvent. This sell signal came in and predicted the entire movement before Sam Bankman-Fried did that. That tweet that Sam Bankman-Fried released, I will show you down to the minute. He released it at 11:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 8th. So I'll go ahead and show you exactly where that line was here. Let's just go to the 5-minute chart. We'll be 2 minutes off. I think you guys will forgive me for the lack of total and complete accuracy. We'll be 2 minutes off, so we don't have to do all this scrolling. He released his tweet basically here. Up here is where the Lux Algo 4-hourly chart sell signal came in and was confirmed. I'll show you on the hourly chart here as well, because the hourly chart actually called it even earlier. You can see right here was the sell signal on the hourly chart. The sell signal on the 2-hourly chart was backing up. Went too far. Let's go back over here. The sell signal on the 2-hourly chart was basically at the exact same place, got confirmed by November 6th, and then on the 4-hourly chart, which is where I do a lot of my medium term, basically intraday analysis on Bitcoin, it more or less came right around, went way too far back, apologies. It came right here. So Lux Algo called this movement to the downside, but it's not just that it called it to the downside, it's that we actually had many reasons to believe that Bitcoin was going to go into a downtrend relatively soon there anyway. First and foremost, we saw the sell signal confirmed by Trend Catcher. That is the very basis of the strategy that I use in technical analysis using Lux Algo. Use the Trend Catcher, use the sell signal. If you were using Lux Algo, here are my settings, by the way. Come in here. Signal sensitivity 12, confirmation signals agility 26. I do have autopilot signal settings on. Candle confirmations over here on confirmation simple. Presets, not using any of them right now, but they are pretty useful, so check them out. And then confirmation plus exits. The exits are very useful as well. And then 5 sensitivity on the TP/SL points. We'll show you that here in a little while. I also have reversal zone, Trend Catcher, and EQ Cloud on at the moment. Those are the base 3 technical indicators that I use for my strategy using Lux Algo that many of you guys have now since adopted. Nevertheless, we saw the strong sell signal. We saw the Trend Catcher confirmed. We also saw EQ Cloud was coming in here, converging bearish on itself. We also saw the reversal zones were constricting, similarly to how you would read Bollinger Bands. Whenever the reversal zones are constricting on themselves, that indicates a period of low volatility. That low volatility then more or less demands that you have a period of high volatility. It's not very common that you're going to see this almost pincer movement where you see the volatility drop off very quickly and it not come back with a vengeance. And that's what we saw take place. So that was a four-way. And in fact, if we use Lux Oscillator down here, because it went red also right here, preceding all of this, it went red right here, then that was a 5 out of 5 confirmation that there was a sell-off about to take place. And then if you wanted another confirmation, something that you could have also done is you could have read into Lux Algo and said, okay, well, Bitcoin dropped below the EQ cloud, which meant that it was now confirming a break to the downside. If you didn't want to use the reversal zones, the EQ cloud converging bearish on itself and being very thin, indicating weak bullish strength at best, the sell signal, the trend catcher confirming red, and then also Lux Oscillator turning bearish, then the last signal confirmation that you could have used was breaking to the downside out of the EQ cloud. Again, all of that preceded that FTX announcement by almost 24 hours. And obviously, the market dropped even farther following that news. But the market was already right here at the time the FTX news came out. We were already dropping into the reversal zones. Best case scenario, if FTX news didn't come out, we probably would have seen it drop to 18.5 in a small bounce, and then probably would have hit our head on resistance at 20K, and then fallen down here anyway. But because of what FTX ended up doing to the market, we dropped down here, and we've been ranging in between $15,460, which is the absolute bottom for this bear market, which was set about a week ago, and our local resistance around 17K. Now, the reason that I bring all this up is because we're setting up a similar pattern on the 4-hourly chart, and that is that we see the EQ cloud is quite bearish. We also see that the reversal zones did constrict on themselves, and we had a break to the upside, surprisingly, but that break to the upside did not break recent local resistance sitting at $16,800, indicating that the bears are still in charge. You can see we broke up here, ranged, and then we fell down. You can see we had a symmetrical triangle pattern, which should have had a price target if we just draw a trend line right here, sitting at $18,000, which would have broke us above the reversal zones, or at least pushed us deep into the reversal zones, because of course the reversal zones respond. We would have then used that strength to hit the stop loss of the sell signal, and we would have had a buy signal and blasted us off if we were actually bullish, and if we actually saw a break to the upside coming out of this symmetrical triangle pattern, which did not transpire. There's a 70% likelihood that you break in the same direction of a symmetrical triangle pattern as you were moving when you went into the symmetrical triangle pattern. That is not what happened. We took the 30% likelihood and we broke to the downside. On top of breaking to the downside, we also fell straight through the EQ cloud, which was trying to turn bullish and will now almost certainly turn bearish once again. Breaking to the downside out of it confirmed bearish sensitivity, and then we can also see that Lux Oscillator is trending to the downside. All of that while the sell signal is still in play, and we still see red indicating strength on the candle coloring. This purple means that we were getting into weak sell territory instead of strong sell territory. We dropped right back down into the strong sell territory. On top of that, if we look down on the 1-hourly chart, you will be able to see that the market was ranging sideways here, and I haven't even seen Lux Algo here, but I can tell you it's going to be buy and sell. There you go. Buy and sell signals indicating a weak movement to the upside. We saw a buy signal here, but there were a lot of sell signals coming in here. None of these were confirmed, but they did cast doubt on this buy signal strength, because if we're seeing a bunch of sell signals, and they're not confirmed, so we don't trade off of them, shouldn't that mean that this buy signal is coming under fire? Well, that's exactly what we saw. We now see a strong sell signal, and we saw the market drop instantaneously following that. Remember, guys, just because a sell signal or a buy signal is not confirmed does not mean it's not important. These signals are not to really be traded so much, but they are something you want to keep an eye out for, because they're the early warning sign. This strong sell signal was an early warning sign, especially when we broke below the EQ cloud, then broke below our uptrending level of support right here that you can see defined by these lines over here. That support, that resistance, that support, and then we had support right here. We fell below it, and then we had a flash crash. The bounce from that was pitiful. It was absolutely terrible. I mean, it was horrible. We see the sell signal here had a take profit zone sitting between $16,260 and then $15,950. We fell into the take profit zone, into the second one, not even just the first one, fell on the outside of the reversal zone, and then we barely bounced out of it. Now, this does happen sometimes where you'll barely bounce out of the reversal zone, then bounce again, and then you start moving to the upside and maybe set up some bullish RSI divergence down here, and then break to the upside and then have another buy signal. It's possible. But frankly, if Bitcoin does continue to the downside here and set a new lower low, and then you see that lower low be below the market low that we set over at 16,000 yesterday around 9 p.m., then what you're likely going to see happen is you're going to see the reversal, the trend catcher here turn red, confirming this sell signal, indicating a larger sell-off, and then we'll probably drop down here into this support zone that we have seen before. Bitcoin is not really giving me a lot of confidence that it's trying to go through a major bounce, considering we're seeing lower highs being generally set right here. In fact, if we bring up the Smart Money Concepts indicator here on Lux Algo, by the way, this is a free indicator. This is not even part of the paid. You can get this for free. This is the highest rated by a country mile community script over here on TradingView, sitting at 9,700 likes. The runner-up is 2,500 likes, 2,600 likes. Both of these are the runner-up, almost tied. Almost 10,000 likes. This is the Smart Money Concept. Absolutely took the prize for most likes on TradingView. This is a free indicator. You can get this for free. This is not part of the lifetime. This is not subscription. This is free. This is the free version of this indicator, which is a lot more complicated, but is also part of the premium. But the free version here, I'll just use the free version because you guys can go and look at this yourself. Gives us a ton of resistance right here. Right here, it gives us a strong high, which is wonderful, but then we fell right out of it. And then right here, we see a BOS. BOS, what does that mean? It means a break of structure. It stands for break of structure. We also saw BOS right over here, which means break of structure. Then we saw this right here, which said equal low. It's very close to being an equal low. Then we see a weak low right down here, indicating that we don't really have a lot of confidence in this low. It's a weak low. It means that this low could be broken again. A strong high is a high that's a little bit difficult to break. Basically, this means that the high is a strong one and the low is a weak one, indicating getting above this is going to be difficult. Getting below this is not going to be hard at all. And that makes sense because look at where we're trading. We're so close. We're only $133 away from the weak low, but we're $550 from the strong high. On top of that, if we bring up the actual paid version of this indicator, because now I got to use some of the actual tools here. Let me come in here and turn some things off. This is a highly customizable tool here. I'm going to turn off predictive SR and then just bring out a couple of the technical, bring a few of the things out here. I know this is a lot. Let's go to a clean chart where you're just seeing Lux Algo. Let's go to a clean chart where you're just seeing Lux Algo. We'll go to this chart right here. And I'll let Lux Algo SRM Patterns Premium load right here. What this is basically showing us is that there is a general downtrend. You can see this line right here is a general downtrend. This line right here, both of these dotted lines, these are in correspondence to each other. These are both showing that there is a general pattern, a general trend zone, a trading channel, if you will, taking place. These dotted lines, the blue and the red, and I'm pretty sure, I need to ask Sean, but the fact that it's blue and red, I think might be from me because I use Lux Algo a lot and I use blue to represent resistance and blue to represent resistance and red to represent support. I need to ask him, but I'm very honored if that's the case. Nevertheless, there is a pattern that is being detected here, and that is a general trend line to the downside. It also has the break of structure right here that we saw take place over on the free indicator. Then you can also see this is almost like a VPVR, shows you where a lot of the trading is taking place up here and now down here. That indicates we've got a lot of resistance up here. And this red zone right here, again, just remember, we have there's no drawings. Everything on this chart right now is being drawn by this one part of Lux Algo. If I just come over here, boom, turn it off, you can see all of that's the indicator. So there's a lot here. It also shows us that there is a general trend from this high moving through this market, moving to the downside right here, catching this bottom. And that's also telling us that there's a general downwards momentum in the space. There's also this level right here, which shows that you could also paint this as something akin to a descending triangle pattern, and then you could also akin both of these trend lines together to put them together as a falling wedge that we broke bullish out of, but then you extrapolate them. Then there's also this support right here and this resistance right here, indicating that there was a rising, an ascending triangle pattern, but we broke bearish out of that, or we broke bullish out of that, but then broke right back down, bearish out of the support. So Lux Algo and Lux Algo SRM Patterns Premium are both telling you some very important things. And that is that Bitcoin is sitting in a precarious spot right now. If we just layer both of these on top of each other, you can see it gets a little bit confusing. But if you know what you're doing, both of these are actually extremely phenomenal technical indicators. But both of them are telling us that where we're sitting right here is a bit of a precarious low. What we should be expecting is a drop down to this level right in here, which is being drawn by SRM Patterns Premium. And to be honest with you, if we do fall back down here to about $16,000, this take profit zone is going to update, and it'll probably start its update with the top of the update, with the top of the take profit zone sitting at 16,000 instead of 16,300, which probably puts the bottom of that take profit zone down here around $15,700, about a $300 range. Looking out on the 4-hourly chart, you can see that that range, I'll just turn both the indicators off here for a second. You can see that range looks a whole lot like the 3 levels that we've dropped before. If any of you guys remember anything that you've learned in CT2A or Club DeFi or 5 years of content here on the channel, whenever you see a bottom get tested 3 or more times, that generally means that that bottom is very weak. Bitcoin, it keeps breaking down and then rallying to the exact same level. I mean, look at what we're doing here, guys. Just look at the candlesticks. We drop to the downside, break up, trade sideways. Drop to the downside, break up, trade sideways. Drop to the downside, break up, trade sideways. Where are these big, massive scam wicks to the upside? There aren't any. They're just scam wicks to the bottom. We just keep testing the bottom. We're not making any progress to the upside. We just keep coming down. I would be personally surprised if this downwards movement right here was over yet. I think you're going to see another leg down into the mid 15,000s. And from there, if we just keep testing this level over and over and over again, where's the argument to be made that we're going to see a break to the upside? I mean, the break to the upside could be a fake out like this movement, but remember, back over here, we did a stream on this day, October 24th. When this break to the upside happened, it was a short squeeze, and 80% of the shorts took place on FTX, which then eventually shorted itself and, completely collapsed 3 weeks later. It explained why this movement went to the upside in the first place. This was a manipulated movement to the upside. Bitcoin should never have taken this step to the upside. It was not ready for it. It wasn't. The space is not mature enough. It has not come out of the bear market enough to warrant a big movement up just yet. I'm not a perma bear, guys. I'm actually a perma bull, gladly, if I'm looking at the 10-year chart. I'm more than happy to be called a perma bull if we're talking about looking at the yearly chart or the monthly chart. But that doesn't mean I'm always going to be a bull on the short-term time frames or for the next 3 months. And I'm not for the next 3 months. I think the bottom is potentially still below us. I think that the bottom being below us would actually be a good thing because it would give you an opportunity to load up on more Bitcoin at a better price and get a Black Friday or a Cyber Monday deal on Bitcoin. Right now, there are some great deals running. One of them's for Lux Algo. Another one of them is for Bitcoin. We got a deal on Ethereum. We got a deal on Cardano. We got a deal on Avalanche. Not such a great deal, but kind of a deal on Binance. A lot of great deals. And you can do one of two things. You can either get salty that we have a deal right now and that your portfolio is down, or what you can do instead is adopt healthy trading practices like not investing more than you're willing to lose. And if you have already invested more than you're willing to lose, then just be very careful with your next steps. But if you haven't done that yet, don't do that. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose, and ensure that you're able to pick up some Bitcoin down here at these levels if you feel confident with it. If you understand the space, if you plan on being here for years, if you understand what you're investing in. If you don't understand, then you need to go learn Bitcoin, even if it's a great deal right now. You need to learn the market that you're investing in before you invest in it. Don't go buying into Rolexes or into real estate or into Tesla or into Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin or Avalanche or any of these assets until you understand them. Because when you buy Bitcoin, you're a fractional owner of the entire Bitcoin. Of the whole of Bitcoin. And that's something that Warren Buffett talked about. When you buy a stock in a company, you are a partial owner of that company. That's what that means. It's a certificate of ownership. It's a CO. It's a COO. It's a certificate of ownership. When you buy stock in a company or when you buy a part of Bitcoin, you own part of that whole. That's what it is. It's a fraction of the whole. And so, if you don't understand the way it works, then what business do you have owning it? So, just keep that in mind. You need to understand what you're investing in and be in a position to invest in it first. Anyway, all of that analysis was brought to you by Lux Algo. Do not forget, guys, that Lux Algo is on sale for another 13 hours on the lifetime membership for this low price. And I do say low because this is low for a technical indicator. You're going to get access to all of Lux Algo for life, including the backtesting system where you can go in and do all of this backtesting and get the best win rates in one click. If you're a trader, and even if you're not, if you're just an investor and you want to just see how good this indicator is, Lux Algo backtesting system is going to show you exactly how powerful it is by allowing you to go in and manipulate all of the settings so that you can automatically generate the best sensitivity, the best signal settings for Lux Algo so that it'll give you the best settings. So make sure that you get Lux Algo Lifetime right now for $9.97 before it goes away forever. It will be fully discontinued after this. That saves you so much money because if you pay the full price every single month, then in a year, that's $815. In 14 months, you've already paid this month. 15 months, you've already paid this month. Lifetime yearly membership, that's how much it costs, but you still don't get it for life. That's only for a year, and then you lose Lux Algo. And by the way, something I normally don't talk about is that Lux Algo has an awesome Discord server with 35,000 people in it where you can go and communicate and learn about technical analysis from them, not just with Lux Algo, but with everything. So make sure you sign up with the link in the description box down below right now. Let's go ahead and read chat, though. Let's see. Queen said, Bedrock present, as always. Gonna run, listen to Country Road. Country Roads. I love that song. I did a vocal range test last night. This is completely random, I know, but you just mentioned a song. I did a vocal range test last night, and it gave my range at A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah. It gave me my vocal range at E2 to F sharp 4. So that was really interesting. It said that I was technically a bass. I think I'm more of a baritone, but I think theoretically I might actually be a bass. So that was interesting. I thought I was a tenor. I'm not, apparently. Apparently my voice is even lower than that. That explains why I can never hit high notes. I can't. Like, it is so difficult for me. But I love to sing. So, pretty cool. Go to LuxAlgo on YouTube. Yes, LuxAlgo has their own YouTube channel, which is absolutely awesome. Let's see here. Let's continue reading chat. So I don't have to pay him back my credit card debt with BlockFi then. Sweet. Did they actually... Did that just break? Oh. Oof. Yeah. Okay, so that's fresh news. That literally just happened while I was live. I was wondering why I didn't see that this morning. Okay, so let me... I'm just going to do something really quick here. Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at this. Today, BlockFi voluntarily filed voluntary cases under Chapter 11 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Oh, golly. Well, everything I just said about the technicals of Bitcoin, that's probably just going to be even more accurate in this case. So, that's very unfortunate. Let's, I don't know where that went. Watcher.guru posted something. Crypto lender BlockFi filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Do I still need to make my credit card payments? Yeah, everybody's asking that. Probably. CNBC just posted 26 minutes ago. Somehow they... Well, that's weird. How did CNBC get this news before BlockFi even tweeted it? That's strange. Distressed crypto firm BlockFi filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of New Jersey following the implosion of putative acquirer FTX. If you didn't know, BlockFi was owed a $215 million credit line by FTX that they were relying on because FTX kind of bailed out BlockFi already. They were already an ailing company. Yeah. BlockFi's bankruptcy filings showed... I'm going to read this and then we're going to have to go. BlockFi's bankruptcy filing showed that the company's largest disclosed client had a balance of nearly $28 million. BlockFi looks forward to a transparent process that achieves the best outcome for all clients and other stakeholders. Berkeley Research Group's Mark Renzi said in a press statement, BRG serves as a BlockFi financial advisor. The crypto company, which offers a trading exchange and interest-bearing custodial service for cryptocurrencies, was one of the many firms to face serious liquidity issues after the implosion of Three Arrows Capital. BlockFi, which was last valued at $4.8 billion, according to PitchBook, is among many crypto firms feeling the pressure of FTX's collapse. In July, FTX swooped in to help BlockFi stave off bankruptcy by extending a $400 million revolving credit facility and offering to potentially buy the beleaguered lender. Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on November 11th. We already know that. Yada, yada, yada. That sucks. Well, there goes my $3,000 that I have on BlockFi, I guess. We'll see if I can get that back through the bankruptcy filing. But like I told you, I had a little bit, just a little tiny bit of our portfolio over on BlockFi that I had left there just kind of as, people have, dust. That's not so much dust. That's like, that should have been moved. I shouldn't have had that there. That's my own fault. But I'm learning my lesson the hard way, as a lot of us are. Luckily, I never had any affiliation whatsoever with FTX or with Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, or Voyager Digital, or any of those. But I did have a tiny little bit of exposure to BlockFi. So that is unfortunate. Really sorry to anybody that had a lot of money on BlockFi. Sorry that you're hearing that way. Not too big to fail. Next, yep, like I told you guys here. I told you a week ago. I forget what stream it was, but I told you a week, maybe a week and a half ago. Within 3 months, but probably within the month, you will see you will see at least one $1 billion company go bankrupt. Here it is, BlockFi. I would not be surprised if another one goes bankrupt. You're probably looking at Genesis. You might be looking at the Earn program on Gemini. You may see several different companies, big or small, go bankrupt over the next little while because BlockFi is part of the contagion. That they spread this contagion. It's not just BlockFi that's going to be impacted by this. This is such an interconnected industry because it's got a ton of value, but there's very few major power players. And yeah, that's really sad to see. That's all unfortunate. If BlockFi was already failing, why would you leave it on there? Honestly, I left that on there from like a year ago, and I completely forgot about it. It's my own fault. It's stupid. I know. It's dumb. You can make fun of me in the chat for it. I'm human too. I know. Actually, yeah, it was over a year ago, back when they were doing well. Bitcoin going to hit a new low before end of this stream. Would not be surprised. Well, actually, I would be surprised if it hit a new low in the next 2 minutes, but anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to smash that like button, and also make sure to go ahead and get Lux Algo Lifetime, because you've only got 13 hours left to do it. So make sure you go to the link in the description box down below. It's the very first link down here. Sign up for Lux Algo using this link right here so that you will get access to Lux Algo Lifetime, and you will have this indicator for the rest of time and never have to pay the subscription fee ever again. It is worth it, guys. It's worth every penny. So make sure you sign up with the link in the description box down below. And by the way, if you need help learning how to go about paying the taxes on all of that Bitcoin earnings that you're about to make, or doing tax loss harvesting on the money that you are about to save because you may have taken a loss this year, then make sure you also check out one of our sponsors, Anthony Price. Anthony Price CPA is a CPA that is going to help you with your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency taxes, as well as your small business needs. So make sure that you go and check out AnthonyPriceCPA.com also and get a free consultation with him so that you can have a better strategy to make sure that you don't overpay in taxes and then not have as much money to keep in crypto, but also so that you don't underpay in taxes and have the IRS come for you. Make sure to check out Anthony Price and get a consultation now with the link in the description box down below. Before we go, though, guys, thank you very much for staying tuned over the weekend. It was a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had a lot of fun. Really enjoyed getting to see all the kids have fun. Malachi had a bunch of play buddies then. And then Malachi's my 2-year-old, our 2-year-old, Sarah and I's 2-year-old. And so Sarah's feeling a little bit better. I know you guys have been asking about that. Not completely better, but a little bit better. She's looking at me like, really, Jebb, are you sure about that? Anyway, it was a good weekend. We had a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to this next season in our life. Really, I think next year is when things are going to really start taking off and getting big on the channel. But anyway, more content coming up. Coffee and Crypto Live goes live at 10 a.m. Eastern every single weekday, so just make sure you tune in tomorrow. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. But before I go, though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.